Good evening and welcome to the 11th Annual Manhattan Institute Social Entrepreneurship Awards Dinner, where we recognize outstanding private individuals who have found original ways to do something effective about some of our most serious public problems.
I fundamentally believe that these poor kids who have every social ill you name one, we got it. All of my kids are going to go to college. You can, with hard work, save all the kids.
93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100.
Excellent job.
We all want to be psychology majors, and she was a psychology major.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
Oh Lord, we come this morning with our knees bowed and our body bent before thy throne of grace.
Social entrepreneurship, I think you can think about it as a new term for a very well-established American tradition of private individuals thinking they can do something about public problems. So it's as old as Clara Barton and the Red Cross, as recent as Millard Fuller and Habitat for Humanity. And what we're doing is looking across the country for the new versions of those.
For many of us, the emotional baggage that sometimes comes with aging can be devastating. Watching our loved ones, your mom, a spouse of 50 years, a best friend turn to you and say, "Do I know you?" The result, the visitors' parking lot at many senior homes remain empty. It is through the tools of makeup that we, Glamour Girlz volunteers, are able to lift the curtain that divides two generations and provide a stage and an audience to the forgotten and the frail.
That was the oldest one. So I had to count my blessings for what I was writing down.
You can imagine all sorts of complex public programs to reduce isolation among the elderly, but here's something that's doing exactly that just came from one young woman's head, and it's now involving thousands of girls across the country.
What really happens at a Glamour Girlz makeover is a conversation.
Prices went up so high that we couldn't afford it.
Today at the makeover, a mom pulled me aside to say, "This has changed my daughter's life."
Rachel Doyle started Glamour Girlz as a high school student. She funds it entirely through private means.
I was a recipient of an award.
Oh, of it.
Yes. And you know why? Because I have incredible volunteers like Francine.
Like you, see that?
I know, see?
The social entrepreneur is somebody, a light bulb has gone off in that person's head. They're looking to find the means to see their idea to fruition because they believe in it.
I am a proud member of the New Brunswick chapter of the New Jersey Orators. I chose this piece because more and more these days, I see girls everywhere struggling with their self-confidence and self-image.
I had a very difficult time communicating. I was nervous, could not get two words out of my mouth. I was afraid I would use the wrong subject and verb agreement.
I have been an orator for 3 years. I have received excellence in all of my competitions except for the first where I received an honors.
We get with some basic things like introducing oneself. That's the hardest thing to do. Having someone tell someone, this is who I am.
I don't hate shampoo unless it gets in my eyes. I don't hate TV except for the news on Channel 5.
We want them to be able to say what they mean and to say it in a very logical and in a very forceful manner.
So I'll call Sharon Carmichael up to...
They're learning all the soft skills that really portend success in one's career.
Rich and wealthy, far beyond his eyes, telling his story, called the hoodlum, and how he held his own.
This organization is totally volunteer. That dedication is not only in our coaches, it's in our parents, it's in our judges who come in. We've got over 100 judges who work with our young people in 2 competitions in the fall and 2 in the spring.
They're sending a message to those kids, you know what? The community around you cares about you. The New Jersey Orators weren't created in response to a government program. They were created in response to an idea that their founders had as people who knew each other through community life.
And I really, again, want to congratulate my co-recipients for the great honor. Thank you.
The Social Entrepreneurship Award program was initiated at the suggestion of a gentleman for whom the award is now named, Richard Cornell, who was a prominent writer on themes of philanthropy and civil society in America and coined the term the independent sector. The 5 awards named after Richard Cornell recognize the green shoots, the startups that are showing great promise. But then the grand prize, the marquee award of the evening, is the Simon Prize. When we think of the Simon Prize, we think of individuals who have been game changers. Jeffrey Canada of the Harlem Children's Zone fits the profile of a Simon Prize winner to a T. It carries with it a $100,000 honorarium. It's named for a really important figure in American philanthropy, William E. Simon, who was Secretary of Treasury in the Ford administration and went on to be a pioneer in the venture capital world.
I think it'd be great if the public would perceive this award as recognition for things that would not have happened but for the energy and spark of an individual.
The context of tonight's award is what must be considered the most vexing and long-standing social problem in America: how to break the cycle of intergenerational poverty affecting the African American poor.
When you're dealing with people, it's very complicated, and it requires a high level of sensitivity and at some point a cut to the chase toughness.
You keep inventing things over and over and over again, right? In education, one failure, they say, stop everything, it won't work.
One Sunday morning, the worm came up and popped out of the egg and came in some very hungry caterpillar.
Harlem Children's Zone does what it calls cradle to college interventions with the most economically disadvantaged, socially disadvantaged kids in America.
On Saturday, he ate 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, and 1 slice of watermelon. Then he had a stomach ache.
The founder, the man we honored with the William E. Simon Prize, conceived the idea himself. I think I have my own way of doing this. I'm going to seek support for that way, and that's what he did.
I felt like this was an answer. It was the best answer I knew, and I wasn't going to allow, I think, others' ideas of what should be funded to drive me away from what I was fully committed to do. Government funded in silos. They would give you a certain amount of restricted money to do these very restricted activities, and I found it to be a stranglehold.
Pineapple.
Good job.
I know what it is.
I couldn't save kids. I mean, you literally were forbidden to save families. I got money for kids from 5 to 12. If their 14-year-old brother came in, I couldn't feed them.
The award dinner gives the winners the chance to meet informally with people who might be their next big donors. And we've had people step up right at the award dinner and write a check on the spot.
You know, for the last 12 years, we've been in major magazines or won contests, but I think there's a great validation that comes from a policy research institute putting the stamp on your program saying that it's serious.
The receipt of the Social Entrepreneur Award, giving us the opportunity to bring in much more funds, to bring in a lot more volunteers who want to be involved with our organization, who see the value of what we're doing and want to come on board and grow with us.
And I am a proud member of the New Jersey Orators, Newark Chapter 1. Thank you.
We at the Manhattan Institute believe there are limits to what can be done well by government, that a vibrant, innovative civil society needs to be there to address emergent social problems. And that's what we're recognizing and we think nurturing through the Social Entrepreneurship Awards program.
We are by far the most generous nation, and I attribute it to our psyche being willing to help the lesser fortunate.
You think about some of the problems that social entrepreneurs address. Virtually any aspect of the human condition. To the extent to which we encourage individuals as opposed to encouraging the government, that is a much, much better path.